I'ma need some whiskey glasses, cause I don't wanna see the truth.
I miss her so much.
See the world
You
through
really
the
hurt me.
whiskey glass.
And welcome back to Seeking Truth,
Seeking
episode
truth,
11.
You gotta hit him with that.
Chew it. Spit on that thing.
Spit on that thing.
Spit on that Johnson.
We're actually back.
Just like that.
Seeking Truth, episode 11.
This is episode 11, first one video.
Really episode 1 in all reality, because this is our first video episode. So, I mean, if you're on Spotify, it's episode 11. If you're on YouTube, episode 1.
But we're gonna go with fresh start because
Fresh start.
You know, we're going video. We've had a lot of
Yeah.
people not only reach out to us, but in person tell us you gotta go video, and I agree. And we've been working at it for a long time.
It's been a process.
This setup has been a long time coming. Everything, the table, the mic stand, the mixer, the camera, the lights, the backdrop.
XLR cords.
So much went into it. We're like, we're ready to record. We're not ready. We need
Nope.
this, and this. We weren't ready until yesterday, and we actually filmed. And what happened?
We weren't ready.
We weren't ready. A month and a half ago, I hit up Ian, and I'm like, we're building the studio. Come on next Sunday for the first pod.
Yeah.
Then the next week, hold on, we got to reschedule because the pod's not ready yet. Come on next week. Then the next week comes by. We're getting a table next week. And eventually he was like, hey, bro, just let me know when you got it ready, and I'm there. So Ian will be coming on soon. But it's been a process, man.
It's been a long work,
process.
but you know, we're finally here. Thank glory be to God.
We're finally
we
here.
got through it. Nothing crazy, but
Yeah.
Rod's now a part of the pod. Obviously, if they were on Spotify, they saw that he was a guest.
Mm-hmm.
And you were a pretty big time guest. I mean, how many times did you come on? 3 times?
I think twice, no?
Twice, I think, with 1 or 2 unreleased episodes.
Yeah, we recorded a few that we didn't release. They're just stored up there
they're
in the vault.
archives. But
Our first episode early this year, not even close to posting, filmed on our iPhones. No, that was last year.
Oh,
Right,
at the gym,
right.
right?
No.
Oh, here.
Well, that was actually the first,
Our first
rough draft pod, but we
yeah.
filmed the full pod here on the couch.
But I will
We
say,
did, yeah,
I will
remember
say,
that.
out of all of our pods, the ones with Rod have been like the most successful in terms of views, listens, time listened to it. They were Rod's. Like, people love you, man.
And we've had, obviously, Tommy Spalding on, Tommy Brown. Like, we've had people with some notoriety on the internet.
The goats.
But you were the biggest pods. And I actually had people come up to me in the gym that I didn't know, saying they listened to the podcast, specifically your podcast, and that they resonated with it. And I don't even know if you knew that.
No, I didn't.
Yeah,
I
so
really didn't.
But yeah, now he's on the team. He's our producer. So the whole setup, it was Brandon. He set up the camera, the lights, the mixer, tested out the mics, everything.
produced by Rod.
Produced by Rod, man. But yeah, you want to give a little update on where we're at with the pod and the brand and
Yeah.
our vision moving forward?
I mean, as we all know, the origination of the pod really came from an idea that we all had of trying to do something a lot bigger than what we were doing in our day-to-day lives. Trying to, honestly, at the end of the day, it's just for outreach. Like, we're trying to be able to allow people to come on the pod and help other people through, honestly, talking a lot about the things in life that people don't talk about. Because there's so much that goes on behind the scenes in life, especially when you're in your early 20s, when you're in your late teens, even when you're really 30s, 40s, 50s, at every point in life. I mean, there's a lot that goes on that people don't talk about.
Right.
And I feel like one thing we do on this podcast that not a lot of other podcasts do, and I've listened to a lot of them, is we dig pretty deep. And we dig pretty deep with guests that don't talk about this stuff day to day. I saw you try to hold my hand right there. That was smooth. So yeah, man, I mean, at the end of the day, if you've never listened to our podcast, I mean, faith, fitness, business, relationships. My dad calls us a Tinder podcast, a faith-based
Crazy.
Tinder
That's
podcast.
crazy.
Definitely not. But yeah, man, I think we just kind of dig deeper than most podcasts do. And at the end of the day, we're all in the weeds. We're seeking truth for a reason. That's why it's called Seeking
man.
Truth. You know what I mean?
You know, reality is we're all lost and we're navigating life. Most of us are in a quarter life crisis, not knowing what we're doing. You know, even people that are going to school, most of the people that I talk to don't know what they're doing. It's like we're all in the same boat. Like, we're on the same journey. Why not share it together? Share our perspective. But
that's the crazy part, though, is you could look at somebody in the eyes and have a full conversation with them,
Yeah.
see them smiling, having a good time, talking about how great their life is. That person, a lot of the time, goes home, gets in bed at night, and they're like, I have no idea what's going on. Like, my life is hectic. I don't like my life. I don't know what's going on. Why am I thinking like this? Like, people,
It sucks.
you really
man.
don't know what somebody's going through or what they're thinking about behind the scenes.
Yeah, but I feel like that's how it goes. A lot of people, even that are older than us. For example, my uncle, he's a role model for me. He's a radiologist who works in a hospital. He's doing well for himself, family, and everything. And even he tells me, because I tell him like what I struggle with, how I'm not where I want to be, the direction that I'm in. I just feel so lost. It's like, well, shit, man. Like, I'm doing fine. You think I want to do this? Like, nah. Like, truth is, you're probably never gonna figure it out. It's just whatever it is that you're doing. The next thing that you do, just make sure that you're doing better than where you were last year or whatever you were doing prior to that. And if you stumble and fall, because you might get set back, but you just gotta just climb out of it. Just do better.
I think it's a level of that, and it's also another aspect of it is finding contentment and gratitude in what you're doing right now and enjoying the process of getting to where you want to go. Because at the end of the day, like, for example, we have a podcast and we have a goal to be able to almost be like an outreach ministry for Christ and also give a platform to people to talk and let people, like we talked about earlier, be able to have somewhere where people actually talk about the stuff that society doesn't want to talk about or feels it's cliche to talk about, or it's like, I don't even know the word for it that people use for these sort of topics, but people just don't address it. Yeah. I guess maybe you're soft or maybe there's not a place for it. Because like realistically in your day-to-day life, where are you going to go and talk about a quarter life crisis out of the blue? There's not a lot of people who want to hear about that. We do.
Yeah,
So,
I think for most people it's kind of like, I don't want to say embarrassing, but it's like you don't want people to know that you don't have it figured out. Like, you want people to know or think that you know what you're doing, you know which direction you're going in. But truth is, most people don't know.
it's all a persona.
I know so many people that have their whole life plan figured out. They're so happy like with what they're doing. They're like, oh, for example, just an example, going into the academy, I'm super excited. A month later, it's like complete 180.
Yeah.
And now they're lost again, not knowing what they're going to do.
The crazy thing is I'm the guy that people were looking at the past couple of years like, this guy's got it figured out.
It all figured out. And even being your roommate, it's what it seems like, man. Like, for example, you go from the gym, you get into recruiting, doing well for yourself, making a decent amount of money. And I'm like, Josh got this shit figured out. And I'm like, not like it's never been a competition, but it's like, damn, like Josh has it figured out. Like, what am I doing wrong? Like, I got to figure this shit out too. Come to find out, he hates it. He leaves. He gets into real estate. At this point, I think I'm like, oh, like now he's really
now
got
he really
it.
found it.
For most people, it takes a long time to sell houses. For Josh, he got it pretty quick. Naturally, he's gifted at it. And I'm like, dude, like Josh is selling. Like, this is it. Like, he's got it figured out. Like, this is what he's going to do. I'm still kind of like lost.
Yeah.
I remember I have conversation with Josh about like work, everything, whatever. And like I struggle to talk about it because he's so excited, super happy. And like I can't because I'm kind of like lost.
Yeah.
Coming to find out one day, I'm in the kitchen, I'm eating. Josh is down with me. He's like, listen, bro, I don't know if real estate is it. And we just burst out laughing because he thinks that I got it figured out. Yeah. And I'm like, dude, I'm in the same boat.
I think even like for me in real estate right now, as an example, I feel like you got to do something like this, like the podcast, or like I'm working at the gym part-time now, like doing something that gives you fulfillment outside of your main job. I feel like a lot of times makes a big difference because when it comes to picking a job, I feel like for some reason people come to me for this stuff all the time. Like I'm a career expert, even though I change my trajectory all the time.
All the time.
But I've also done a lot of research on it and read books. And what seems to be the best bet in this aspect of the quarter life crisis, especially for men, because as a man, your job is to provide, especially if you take a traditional route like we all do. And I feel like a lot of people listening want to take a traditional route where they could provide for their family in the future, is you have to provide. So one of the pieces of the quarter life crisis is what should I do in terms of work? I've read a lot of books and I've done a lot of research into it. And I found stuff that I'm able to get good at really quick. And the best route to go is don't follow your passion. I'm not saying go into something you don't love, but follow something that makes sense. Follow something that you're good at. There's a book called Unfair Advantage, and it's all about talking about your unfair advantages. We all have something in nature that somebody would look at us from afar and be like, this person's great at this and I suck at this. Like, I wish I had that trait. But you have a trait that that person looks at and they're thinking the same thing. If you lean into that trait and find a career path where you can utilize your natural talents and prime them to become great, you're going to be really successful. Mm-hmm. Why are these basketball players in the NBA making so much money? They lean into their gifts. You're 6'8", 250 pounds. You're a freshman in high school and you're already 6'8", right? You're already huge. You already have hooped your entire life. Why not put in the work to go all the way when you already have the potential that other people don't have? It's the same with regular jobs.
It's true. Yeah, I mean, the quarter life crisis, man, it feels like it's never ending, but you just got to find joy in it. Just how you said, find peace and gratitude and things like that. Because, we're not alone. We're all sitting here going through the same thing, but you find joy in it, You
got to address it. You can't just like have a quarter life crisis going on in the background. Like that's the worst thing you can
pass.
do.
Like it's never gonna pass. It's just gonna lead to discontentment, and you're gonna come to one day just blow up and hate what you're doing and blow up on somebody. But
I think a lot of
that same thing.
Oh, what were you saying?
You were trying to hide it because
I do remember this. You actually went through a recent one.
You quote unquote loved car sales.
Put it in the back of my mind.
We knew you didn't love it. We knew you hated it.
You guys could definitely tell for sure.
Yeah, we knew.
You hated car sales. Yep.
What was your quarter life like in car sales?
Not knowing where I wanted to go or if it was actually for me. Like, it was just so confusing trying
car sales
to figure
in
it
general?
out. Yeah. And then going in there every single day, talking to all the salesmen as well too. It just made it so much harder to actually figure out what I wanted and like what my purpose was. So it really made me think like, I'm so stuck. Like, I have no idea what's going on. I'm so lost. Like, I have nothing figured out. And that's when I started thinking the same thing as like you guys. Like, I'd look at Josh and I'd be like, damn, bro, he's doing so good in real estate and recruiting. Like, he has everything figured out. And then he calls me one day and he's like, bro, like, I don't like real estate. And I'm like, what? Like, it's crazy. And then like so many times that has happened. But I feel like it's just been so much easier having a group of brothers like you guys to be able to get past it, because I know that we're all going through the same hard situations, but at the end of the day, we still just keep going and we find something to keep getting after.
And there's a piece of it too, is like I call you and I'm like, I don't like real estate, but you asked me today, I'm like, I kind of like real estate. So I think part of it too is like, and I do like real estate, like genuinely, but the reason why I called you is because anytime you're starting something new, which is another part of it, is that first, dude, in real estate, like when you're starting a business, that first few years, it's brutal. It's hard to build a business from the ground up. It's really hard. When you're in car sales, it's the same thing, except luckily, the reason why I was able to kind of break through the real estate alignment problem was because there are ways I can do that in a service-based way and help other people. In car sales, it was a whole lot harder. Yeah. So for you, it was something where we saw you were in a unique situation where usually you can hide that you're lost and everybody will believe you because you just kind of put on that poker face like your life is great. You kind of had a poker face on, but we're close to you, so we knew you hated that.
Yeah,
from day one, we knew you hated that.
You guys
stuff.
were the only two people that like ever were telling me like, yo, I could tell you don't like it. Like, you need to leave.
We used to tell you hate it.
You were in denial. You were like delusional. You were like, nah, like I love it. Like you were.
You wanted to love it.
I wanted to love it. Yeah. I definitely wanted to love it, but
I mean,
there was no real connection there.
At least you experienced it. You knew what it was like. But too bad you had to scam
I mean, like,
some
even
people.
looking back at it, like, I never thought I'd be able to work a job where I have to talk to people and get them to buy a car.
We had these conversations, like, even if it didn't work out for you, like, you needed that experience.
Yeah, because it forced me to get so uncomfortable.
Yeah,
like, talking to people.
Like, I would never be able to. I never thought you would be able to sit here and have a good conversation because you're a shy guy. But
it did help you
out 100%.
You developed a lot. I think where you ran into a wall was obviously all of us as believers. Like, ultimately, we want to work in a way that's ethical because work's important to us. We all enjoy working. So like, if you're gonna work, let's work in a way that serves. Let's not work in a way that manipulates or takes advantage of other people. And you were in this position where you're a very genuine person and your goal is to help people, but everybody around you in the environment you're in is telling you to manipulate people, including your boss that's going to fire you if you don't. So I can put myself in your shoes and like picture how that would feel, because I've been there. Like I've been in roles where your job is to try to take advantage of people, and I've withheld from doing it, but still it's a tough environment to be in. It's like Jonah when he went to Nineveh. Like that whole going into somewhere where it's just sin all around you and you got to be the light in darkness. Like it's not easy to do, and it's not easy to do for your entire life.
Yeah.
So I get why you would burn out, you know, in that situation.
Do you want to expose car sales? What it's really like?
Expose the industry. What's it really like? So I go in there to buy a car. Hold on, I'm going to give you a situation. I want you to tell me what they would tell you to do.
Okay.
Don't tell me what you would do, what your boss wants you to do.
Okay.
I go in there to Infinity and I want a Q50. I go online and it's priced at $25,000.
If you come in the store and you already saw our online price, you're getting that. Like you're gonna get the online price. We can't mark you up. Like at
Oh,
that
really?
point. Yeah,
Is
no.
that marked up or no?
No.
That's the price you get it for?
Yeah.
That's
Because
not
online.
There's no margin.
There's no like markups usually online.
But is there a margin between what the dealership gets it for and what I buy it for? I'm
I don't
assuming there is.
believe
That's how they
so.
make money.
I don't believe so. I think the markup is how they make their money.
Okay, so let's change the situation. I walk in and I test drive a Q50 and we sit down and I go, so how much does this thing cost?
Keep in mind, he's in college right now. He has a part-time job.
In this situation,
He's in like not a lot of debt. Maybe
I'm in like 30K of debt
like 30K of debt because he has an
on my other
apartment.
car. My other car too. In this situation, I
then-
got another car that's in debt.
So at
If
this
I were
point, you
to
think
tell
he's a
them
great
that,
lead, huh?
they would say that's a great lead. He needs a new car. If he's going to be going to college, he should definitely get a car that's new so he doesn't have to be worrying with maintenance. He's going to come with warranty. He's going to have no issues with it for the
So
next 7
you're
years.
selling them an idea.
Yeah.
So
All
you're
right.
telling them what they need.
Like I had a coworker when I was at Nissan, and
Okay.
my sister, she has a very old beat up car right now. And he was like, oh, she should get a new car. And I was like, why would she do that? Like she has no reason to be getting into one. And it's a sister that.
It's a bad
I told her
financial
about.
investment.
Yeah, it's a pretty bad financial decision. She could definitely
Terrible.
be making better decisions, but it's like people just think, oh, I'm gonna buy a new car. It's gonna last me forever. Like I have no worries, but you don't realize how scammy the dealerships are and how much of a bad deal you're getting no matter what dealership you go at. Like no matter where you go at, it's always gonna be
so
priced higher.
So I'm curious. Can you tell us like one specific time where you like knew that you were screwing somebody over? Because
you a
let's face
few.
it, when you're in sales, like at some point you're probably gonna experience something like this.
Well, you have the temptation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
of course.
You're like
I mean,
you're in this weird middle ground where it's like I can do the right thing and take the risk on this sale, or car sales, I could do the wrong thing and secure it.
Yeah, I mean, when I was new into sales, it wasn't high ticket. It was sales at a gym. I was taught to look at the money as a dollar sign. But I was
Look
new,
at the person as a dollar sign.
Look at the person
Yeah.
as a dollar sign. I was new to sales, so I was like, damn, these guys are good at what they do. And that's how I was taught. So, yeah, I mean, just tell me one specific event where going in, you're like, I'm going to get this guy, and I'm going to do whatever it
Dude,
takes.
the car
to get this.
repossession story is pretty gnarly.
That one is pretty
The guy that
gnarly.
got repossessed.
Yeah, we had so we had a client come in one day, and I forgot what kind of car he was driving. It was like a newish one. It was like a 2023 Corolla, and it was like a decent model, right? So comes in, he's like, "Oh, I actually called him on the phone. I got him in with an appointment." And he comes in the next day, and he's like, "Yeah, like I wanted to look at the Sentras a while back, but they couldn't get me approved on it. Like this and that. My credit's really bad." So my manager's like, "All right, like go show him the car. Show him the car. I was like, put him on a test drive. Like, make sure he loves it."
So his credit was
It was pretty
Bad.
shit. Yeah, it was like 500s. And so they drive it, and they're like, "Yeah, like we like it." So we walked them inside, and at my dealership, it was a closer system. So there was a GM, GSM, desk managers, closers, and the closers basically had their own team of salesmen. So
You're passing these leads around like cigars.
yeah, so once you bring the clients in, it's pretty much the closer's job at that point. Like once you get the credit application and all that going, it's in their hands. So they come on in, they like how the car drives. We show them the price. They pick a color that they like they like the model. And they come on in, And we realized that we can't get them approved unless they were to get rid of their other car. But they still owed like 20, 30K on their car. And they wanted to get themselves into a new loan. And keep in mind,
Such a bad like
they live in an
idea
apartment,
in general to even think about doing
own
that.
any properties, make probably less than 10K combined together, and their payment was around like 700 for the new car, and it was like a very cheapy car, like a car that if you had good credit you could have financed for around $200 to $300, and she's paying 700,
And getting her car
and
repoed.
she had to repo her car.
What was her interest rate?
Like
45%.
19 or 20. It was up there, but yeah, she had to repo her car. My manager came out and he was like, hey, like, the only way we could approve you on this loan is if you voluntary repo your own car. And she was like, oh, like, what's that? He was like,
Voluntarily
just,
repo.
you'll stop paying your car. You tell the bank that you can't pay it no more, and you just leave it somewhere and they'll come and pick it up in a few months.
So he convinced them to do this?
Yeah.
So you go home that night. How do you feel when you're about to go to sleep?
Beyond shitty.
So you're thinking about it.
Yeah. Because I remember I walked outside after we got the deal done, and I told one of the salesmen there, and he's like, this is when I knew it was just like so grimy. He was like, oh yeah, like I've done that so many times already. And I was like, wow, bro, like that is crazy.
They grow thick skin to
And
it.
I found out like you could get your sales license revoked for that. Like that's like a big no-no. Like I told them.
But you're like top, like the guy at the top of the chain is the one that was doing this. So he could have really
His
gotten
mentor.
like, screwed.
Yeah.
So he was doing like
That whole
some really
dealership could
shady
have got
shit.
it. That whole dealership was beyond scammy. Like that salesman that I told you about, he was selling a truck to some guy one day, and the guy thought that it was a 4x4, but it was actually 2-wheel drive.
Oh
my
The guy
gosh,
told him, he
dude.
said it's oh my,
Dude,
what
that's
did he
so
say?
fucked.
All right, real quick. If you're ever gonna buy a car, never go to Nissan Van Nuys. Stay away from Nissan.
Unless
Van
you're working
Nuys.
with Omar.
Unless you're working
That's
with
the
Omar's
Omar
cool.
Del
Yeah,
Rio.
if you go to Omar, he'll take care of you.
Go Omar
Those
Del
other
Rio.
guys,
They'll
I'm
do you
sorry.
right.
I don't like what I hear.
Yeah, it was pretty grimy. He told him it was what did he say?
Good call on Omar too, because Omar's solid. He'll take care
Yeah,
of you.
of course.
I forgot what he said, but it was absurd. Like when they told me, I was like, wow, that is messed up.
So we just sold him
'Cause
like
that's-
the wrong vehicle.
Yeah, because that's not like a little thing. That's like telling somebody it's a 4x4, but then they get a 2-wheel drive. Like imagine they go to the snow and they're driving, bro, thinking that they have a 4x4.
That's like getting a Tesla, but really they're giving you a Corolla with a Tesla
Corolla
logo
with the
on it.
hybrid.
Yeah, like
I will say
that's night and day for a
that's
truck.
fucked, but like know what you're getting.
That part too. It's
You're
like
getting.
But it still shouldn't, like, technically, if you want to buy a car, you're trying to go to
Yeah,
the
yeah.
experts.
You should-
And you have the
yeah.
experts lying to you.
It's not your fault. Like if you don't,
Yeah.
I don't know anything about cars. If I go to a dealership and like I want this specific car, and I get something else, like is it really on me?
I think we all just
It's
have a
on the
hard time
expert,
trusting
man.
people.
Yeah,
it's true.
because like think about it, people that really don't know jack about cars, you could pretty much tell them that this car is this car when it's not.
Oh yeah. There were so many times where the managers would like want somebody like that because you'd be able to kind of bump them or like take them from a top model to a lower one and like keep the payments the same.
Keep the
'cause it's
price.
yeah.
Dude,
Keep the price because
Oh,
it's
that's
lower.
old
slimy.
industry, man.
All right, so
Damn.
what was that like when you realized, you have a realization, I need to get out of here? What led you to finally pull the trigger and leave? What was the final tipping point?
This podcast.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I had no other direction of where else I'd want to go and like where else I could make like the money that I can make in car sales. So it's like I had just no direction and didn't really know what else I wanted to do. So that was the main reason why. Like it definitely opened up a very big door.
Yeah.
This podcast and this opportunity.
This podcast makes $0.
Yeah.
So,
But
it's
I'm
not like
working
you're in
back
this
at
for the
gym.
money.
Yeah.
It's
now I'm
just
working
really.
back at the gym. So it's like I'm doing two things that I would have rather been doing than car sales. Working at the gym where I'm able to actually help people
Yeah.
with their own fitness and just having a better, healthy lifestyle.
Cover the
And
finances.
then being able to spread the word of God through this podcast and just talk with my brothers as well.
Yeah.
Love it, man.
It's been a big change. You've had a lot of changes this year. A lot of changes.
You had a
Dude, if
big
you would have
year,
known
man.
me like 2 years ago, it's crazy.
I
Well,
know.
from since when I knew you, you changed dramatically. You don't even look like the same human anymore.
Yeah, I don't.
You're the Lord Farquaad cut.
We'll have to put that up on the screen one day.
Just have a
The
little
Farquaad.
right here, just the quad. A little
That
side
the
by
picture
side.
you took of
man,
me?
of course. So bad.
Look like
The
a little
quad.
bowl cut.
But
The
nah,
quad
that's
to the
good, man.
fitted to the clean cut. Yeah, you've glowed up, man.
Everything.
The
Everything
stash.
about you. Good for you.
So you also had another big event this year, the
Yeah.
breakup. Do you feel like you're completely over her now?
Yeah,
100% over her.
100% over.
Look at the camera and say that you're over here.
I'm 100% over.
You
He
guys
definitely
believe him?
looked
away a little bit.
No, he definitely didn't.
He's got
Let
a good
them
poker
decide
face.
if they believe it or not.
Hey, Rod. So I've been trying to keep when you could see it better than I can. I have to go like this, and I keep doing that. I'm gonna clap when we're back.
We're doing,
What are we talking
try not
about?
to answer because we're like mid convo.
Or
I
just
don't even know
mute
where
it.
we left off.
We were talking about Rod's ex. All right, we're back. Rod had to take a quick phone call.
He was in his feels in that conversation.
He shed a couple tears.
Had to
He told
take
us to
a
call it a
step
phone
away.
call, but G-Val exposed him, so I guess I had
That's
to.
the truth. But, yeah, man. I mean, it was your first relationship. Seems like you learned a lot.
Oh yeah, I'm
Don't let it ruin any future relations.
No, yeah,
You know what happens.
I'm very
No.
grateful
Just
for
be
it.
cautious.
You know, I learned a lot. I learned what I want, what I don't want. So
What do you not want? You said it.
It's a lot of things.
The way I see it is like you want to be aware of your actions. You want to be in control of your actions, not let somebody make decisions for you.
Yeah.
What else do you
Way.
not want?
Tough one.
That's hard.
What do you not want?
What do I not want? And with what? Elaborate. You just kind of asked me, what do I not want?
I mean, what are we talking about? I guess we're talking about a relationship.
What do I not want in a relationship?
What's like your avoidance?
I
Like
don't want a over attention seeking female.
Over
Whoa.
attention?
What do you mean by that? Attention seeking to you or attention seeking to the world?
Attention seeking the world type of female. Don't want
Throwing
that.
some shade real quick.
Wow.
I'm playing. I probed
Nah.
that.
You just asked what I want or what I don't want.
No,
My
I
next
get
girl.
what you're saying. You're saying you want your chick to be content.
My wife. Yeah, my
Ooh.
future.
Oh, hold on.
Okay.
So the next one, are
So
we
the
hearing it
next
first?
one.
The next one's your wife?
My next one has to. I'm praying that she's my wife.
How quick-
I can't say that she has to be or that she is gonna be, but you know, I'm
So-
praying that she is.
You're dating this chick, right?
If I met a girl tomorrow, bro, and she showed, nah, I'm kidding. That's too
Oh, this is
soon.
what I was gonna ask.
That's the problem.
So you meet a
Too
chick.
quick.
You meet a chick tomorrow. This is your wife. 2 weeks in, you know it's the one.
How do I know she's the one in 2 weeks?
Okay. How
do you
long do you
know?
wait? How long do you wait until you get on the knee? From when you realize she's the one. Let's say it goes perfect. Let's say she actually is. How quick would you get on the knee?
2
How long
years.
would it take you? Whoa.
So you would be, what, 23?
Yeah.
You get on the knee? You?
If I met one right now, she was perfect, and we're dating for the next 2 years.
I'm saying like the whole time it's perfect. So you could choose
Yeah,
when to
that's
pull
what
the
I mean.
trigger. At
He's
what point do you
saying-
see it? Have you seen it now?
He's saying
Yeah.
you know 100% that this is a girl that you want to marry. How long is it going to take you to propose?
Yeah, for you to propose.
How long have we been dating?
Doesn't matter. You
I'm
know she's the
asking
one,
you
bro.
this. I'm asking you like,
Hey, let's
How
make
long
this a
will it
little
take you?
interesting.
It depends.
Make this a little interesting. She gets pregnant.
okay,
That's correct.
immediate.
Yeah.
She's pregnant immediately.
Immediate.
All right, she's not pregnant.
Yeah.
How long?
2 years.
23.
Why 2 years?
Gotta give myself some time to see if she's actually the one.
So you're gonna be just testing her the whole time?
Well, it's like, that's why I'm asking, bro. It's like, you gotta give me how long have we been dating for. It's just
Whoa.
like, you can't.
Well, that's on you. Like, how long do you think you have to date her for you to propose?
I think I'd have to date a girl for at least a year and a half, and then I'd know, and then I probably would wait another like year and a half to 2 years.
To marry? So
Yeah.
wait, so you get on.
So in
hold
total,
on.
3 to 3.5.
So you
years.
propose at year and a half, or you propose
No,
at 3?
3.
That's a long time. I'm not going more than 2 if I know that it's the one.
2? But I'm
Yeah.
saying you find out that, she's the one at like 1.5.
I'm not going more than 2. I'll get on my knee. I'll propose. Doesn't mean I'm getting married right away. I'll get engaged. Jibo?
30.
30 what?
30 years.
Yeah, I would definitely play the long game.
What's a long game for you?
Like 5 years maybe.
Oh my! You'll date for 5 years?
Would I date for 5 years? I don't know, man.
I feel like that's normal. Like people date for like
Nah, not as a believer. I don't feel like you wanna withhold for 5 years.
that's actually
Well, I
you're
mean,
right.
it depends
You're-
where I'm at, man.
honestly, when you're putting it that way.
Like you want to withhold
That's
from
so
sex for
true.
5 years, and you know what you know.
Whoa.
What you want.
Whoa.
Who said this was
Why are you
about
saying whoa?
that?
I mean, I'm speaking common sense here.
All right, listen, man.
Hold on, no, let's get back to
The way
it.
that I
you want to
see
withhold
it-
from sex for 5 years.
No.
So then you don't want to wait 5 years.
I think he's saying that he's gonna.
Yo. Because listen,
Look, all
you
I
can go
was
the
saying-
premarital route, but you're going against
All I was saying
the
is
word
it
at that
depends where
point.
I'm at. If I'm ready to get married or not. If I'm not ready, then I'm not ready.
So you're what? So okay, I get it. We slip up. No one's perfect in this, but your goal would be to go
get-
5 years without doing anything.
No, that's not my goal. It's just
Oh.
when you talk about marriage, I don't know.
I don't know if we could even really answer this
Yeah, we
question.
can.
without
we
being-
really
not
can't.
answer this,
Because
man.
none of us have found
It's
the
such a
one.
bad
I
question.
guarantee you ask anybody listening to this, they're not gonna know.
But some have
And
an
if some of
idea.
them have a girlfriend, they're gonna be saying she's my wife.
well, then they should wife her up.
Yeah, they should, but then they won't.
Listen, man.
Girls
Find
be
the one
like,
wife her up.
girls be
I'm
like,
saying
that's
this.
my hubby. But they
Long
don't be
story
wiping
short,
them
if you're in a relationship and you think someone's your spouse, your husband, your wife, do it. Why even think twice? Just do it.
Yeah, I mean,
I agree.
Look at Brian.
He did it.
Facts, bro.
Married. I have so many friends that I went to school with that are now married.
Yeah.
Good for them.
I
They
have
found the
zero.
one.
Like I feel like there's too much like discontentment. Like the reason why they don't pull the trigger is because they're with them, but there's still a little discontent. Like, maybe I can do better. Maybe I can get this instead.
Well,
Like,
if you
pull
feel
the
like that,
trigger.
you gotta
Leave.
Yeah, you gotta leave.
You gotta
That's
leave.
true.
It's either leave or go all the way in. Like no 1 foot in, 1 foot out.
Yeah.
The halfway stuff gotta go.
Rod made his decision. He left. Worked out for you.
It did.
Brought her closer to God.
It did.
A lot closer.
Me too.
You did too. In your situationship. Yours was a relationship, really. It wasn't a situation. It was just briefer.
It's whatever you want to call it.
How long was the relationship? The actual relationship.
Like 3 months. It was so long.
Yeah, it was really long.
You smile when you say that.
It was a long time.
But your situation was like longer. It was 6 to 8 at least. Maybe a year.
A year. Come on.
If we combine everything together.
Yeah, everything together, a year and a half, 2 years.
Yeah, crazy.
Are you scared of commitment?
Of course.
Are you dabbing
Are
him
you
up for
dabbing
that?
him up?
Me too, bro.
You're not, bro. You're
Of course
such
he
a lover
dabs you with
boy.
his fingers.
You're such a dude. If you're gonna dab me up, do it the right
Dab him
way,
up
man.
like a man.
It's funny you saying
See,
that.
you guys
because
don't know how to dab.
you would
No,
be-
he's so slippery.
Remember at the gym when he would dab me up like this, bro?
That's
This-
because
this
your
how you
hands
dab.
are always sweaty, bro.
Look at you getting mad at me for not dabbing you up the right way.
That's how it should have been right away.
Well,
There's a lot of weird.
No,
weird
you know
shit
he
going
does
on
a
right there.
little.
Look, who cares, bro? Who cares? I wouldn't because
we
at
did
the
it
gym
right.
used to be super sweaty all the time.
What are we talking about?
I don't know, man. He's talking about
Oh,
Fingers
commitment.
and stuff.
You got commitment issues?
A little bit.
A little
I
bit.
fall in love, but yeah,
I feel
have
like you have the
commitment
least.
issues.
Least
no,
out of all.
I do.
My bad.
It's like, bro, well,
Sorry. Damn.
You have the least commitment issues out of all of us.
nah.
You think I have the best?
No.
If you met a girl that you liked, you're marrying her.
Who do you think's
tomorrow.
worse, me or him?
Shiva. 100%.
Right.
What does that even mean?
Yeah, what is that? Hey, I wasn't saying that.
Saying you're worse, bro.
To
I'm playing.
For commitment?
I know I'm bad too. That's why I'm laughing.
We're all pretty bad.
You're a lot better than us.
you're so much better.
Because me and him talk about. We have
don't
conversations
know, bro.
about it, bro.
I mean, what did you send me today? It's like POV when you.
Let me show you what I sent.
When you're
I
in
sent
your
it to
boy
Rod too.
realize.
That you're never gonna fall in love.
What did I say? I'm like, bro, we're not capable.
It was
Or
literally. Let me pull it up. Oh wait, that was just Rod sent me. That's so true. Just
You
hugging it
gotta
out.
read that for the cam.
Oh, what it says? Yeah, that's a good point. Me and bro finally accepting that love is not for us.
Yeah, and in the video they're like
The
dapping
Rock
each other,
and like another guy dapping him up,
They're like-
just looking eye to eye, hugging it out.
Maybe in another
man.
lifetime.
well,
Well,
We'll
yeah,
get
man.
to experience love again.
I feel like this was a solid first episode.
It was.
First episode
very,
back.
very brief. You know, we wanted to get something. Finally get back to filming. It's
Yeah.
been so long. I feel
Little
like
home team.
I feel like we were a little rusty too, but
Definitely were.
feels good, man.
Feels good.
Feels good. Where I got to vent a little bit. You know, let the emotions out, the feelings.
Mhm.
All my emotions.
Had a couple tears were shed, but
Yeah, off
it's all
cam.
good, man.
Next time,
maybe
show 'em
they'll
on
be on
camera.
the behind the scenes.
Producer Rod.
All right, man. That was Seeking Truth, episode 11. We're back. Should be dropping pretty close to weekly. It may be a rough the first few weeks because we're going to be learning the whole
Yeah,
editing game
covering
now on video
everything.
and audio. But it should be good quality. So looking forward to future episodes. We're going to have way more guests on. We have a bunch lined up that we've had to postpone because building a studio took so long. But yeah, more to come. We appreciate all the support.
Sir. We out.
Peace.